It's crazy how many games I used to wish existed have actually become real, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, a sequel to The Last of Us, an open-world samurai game, an action game in the style of Hitman, and so on. We reached a point where our dream games are finally becoming reality. Things we only imagined years ago are now sitting on our shelves. But even with all these incredible releases, there are still games I wish existed. Ideas and concepts that could be truly special if made today. And that's exactly what I'm talking about in today's video. So without further ado, these are my 7 video game ideas that I wish would exist. Before I begin my list, I want to give an honorable mention to a Tommy DLC from The Last of Us Part 2. I mean, come on now. Where is it? I honestly thought we would get a story DLC starring Tommy like the Left Behind DLC for the first game. His time in Seattle before Ellie and Dina arrives deserves his own spotlight. His hunt for Abby and WLF would have made him and his story even more richer. The character development he would have got would have been amazing with how good the writing team at Naughty Dog is. To this day, I would take a Tommy DLC over a new Last of Us Factions game. I'm not even lying. Maybe, fingers crossed, one day we might get it. I highly doubt it. Or we might get it in the 3rd season of the HBO show. Okay, now, let's begin the real list. Rockstar Games are known for making some of the best games out there. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Bully, and so on. The way they craft open world games is just masterful. So the first game I would love to see is a medieval game from them. They have explored many different modern time periods with GTA and Red Dead Redemption, so I think going back many years and exploring the times of knights and castles would be just peak. A plain and simple historically accurate medieval game would be so amazing. The attention to detail they have for their open worlds, the way they pour creativity into every city, street and NPC interaction would make a medieval town feel alive. The possibilities for storytelling would be just endless. Themes of honor, betrayal, power, and fate could all take center stage, told with Rockstar's signature and masterful thematic depth. Instead of cars or guns, imagine we could own stables, blacksmith shops, or trade businesses to earn wealth. The bounty system from Red Dead Redemption 2 could return, but this time you're chasing down wanted knights or mercenaries. The same economic and moral systems that make their game so immersive could be perfectly reimagined in a medieval setting. And the best part, it doesn't have to be an RPG. Just GTA in medieval times and it will be one of the biggest games ever. Open world freedom, rich dialogue, well written characters, but with swords, horse and castles instead of cars and skyscrapers? Yeah, sign me up. A game like that could redefine medieval genre and show what Rockstar can do when they step outside of their comfort zone. Well, look who it is. Naughty Dog is once again in my list, but not with The Last of Us or Uncharted. One of my biggest wishes is to see Naughty Dog make a Punisher game. Yes, that Punisher from Marvel Comics. Insomniac Games and other studios are killing it with their Marvel games, but the Punisher game needs to be brutal, graphic, violent, but more importantly a character study, and that's why I think Naughty Dog could suit this character so well. Their work on The Last of Us games and how those characters deal with grief in such believable fashion is really similar to Frank Castle's story and his inner demons. Imagine their cinematic storytelling and attention to detail applied to Frank Castle's descent into vengeance. The psychological weight, the blurred line between justice and his obsession. I can really see it being both heartbreaking and horrifying in the best ways possible. Naughty Dog could make it not just a superhero game, but a human story about what endless grief does to a man and how far he is willing to go for his version of justice. This game would be an amazing Naughty Dog and Marvel game. Please, someone at Naughty Dog, hear this video and make it happen. The next game I really want to see is a martial arts game that has amazing hand-to-hand combat that feels super realistic and stylish, yet fun to play. Yes, I know, it sounds like I'm currently describing Sifu, but there's a twist to it. I want it to feel like a classic Hong Kong style film. The streets are wet, the neon signs are reflecting out of the windows and puddles on the road. The atmosphere has a jazz vibe. The main character is a martial arts actor who uses his skills to protect people at night. So basically Sifu with a proper emotional story, characters with more depth and development. I don't mind whichever studio makes it, Slowclap or any other studio that is great with hand-to-hand combat mechanics. Hey everyone, this is me from the future, and while editing this video I realized there's a game that is exactly what I want and I can't believe I forgot about it. Stranger Than Heaven from RGG Studios, the people behind the Yakuza games. Yeah, that is exactly the game I described, and I'm super excited for it, but literally forgot about it. I know that the game is set in Japan rather than Hong Kong, but it still looks like my dream game. The atmosphere is perfectly captured from my brain, and the combat is exactly what I was looking for. Well, I'll still keep this game in the list. At least I got to gush over how good Stranger Than Heaven looks. Now, I have two games I really want from Hazelight Studios. The first one is a Fantastic Four game. Another Marvel game, but I love Marvel, and I think that so many characters would fit the video game medium so well. What Hazelight Studios has done with games such as It Takes Two, A Way Out, and Split Fiction is absolutely brilliant. The co-op gameplay mechanics and the overall co-op design of those games are best in the industry. The way they create segments and weave in and out of new set pieces and abilities specific to that level makes their game so unique, and that's why I think a Fantastic Four game from them would fit so much. I know all of their games star 2 characters, and Fantastic Four, as is in the title, is 4 characters. So they would have to invent new mechanics to fit that team. Maybe find a way to separate the characters into 2 groups for the majority of the story, and the group comes together at the end where 2 of you control 2 characters, and the other 2 is AI controlled, or the other 2 finds 2 other people online, or just 2 of your friends. Either way, a Fantastic Four game from them would work so well. They will get the humor and the tone right, as we saw with their other games. But most importantly, the Fantastic Four's team dynamic and the chemistry is just right up Hazelight's alley. Man, I would love to see this game be made so much. The other game is once again from Hazelight Studios, but this time around a less ambitious and more of a personal one. For this one, I was inspired by their older game Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, and ever since I played that, I thought of a game similar to that, set in the Star Wars universe. The way you can play brothers with co-op or control both characters at once in one controller was super innovative, and I would love to see it implemented elsewhere. I was thinking this game to be like brothers, 2 siblings going on adventures in the Star Wars universe. Maybe 2 Padawan siblings and their journey from being a youngster in training to Order 66, to being 2 Jedi surviving the horrors. Or it could be set during the High Republic era, so you can deepen that part of the lore even more. Either way, I think that formula would work so well in Star Wars. A classic adventure filled with joy and heartbreak along the way. Hazelight Studios kills it with their games, and this would be fitting in their library of amazing titles. Remedy Entertainment have become one of my favorite video game developers in recent years with titles such as Alan Wake 2 and especially Control for this game I am about to mention. The set designs and overall visual presentation of Control seemed very similar to a TV show I have watched a few years back. When I started to watch Severance, I quickly noticed how similar to Control it was, and the eeriness was there too. Ever since then, I wanted a Severance game from Remedy Entertainment. I think they would 100% understand the assignment and deliver something unique and fitting to the Severance universe. It could feature a different division in the severed floors of Lumen. We still don't know what the other teams are doing there. This game could be a mindfuck where the hallways become a giant labyrinth where you have to explore and eventually lead to other rooms where weird shit is happening. Imagine a third-person Blueprints, the hit indie video game from this year with the wide hallways of Lumen. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing in my head. The closer you get to discovering other branches on the floor, the tenser the gameplay and the mood gets. More guards you have to sneak past, more weirder the stuff gets, and everything starts to become a blur as discovering gets harder. Remedy is known to do weird ass games, and this would fit them so well. I need a Severance game and Season 3 of the show ASAP. Last game I would love to see made for this list is a Sherlock Holmes game from IO Interactive. Their work on the Hitman franchise proves them to be one of the best studios out there in terms of sandboxy games. The amount of freedom you have while exploring and different ways to approach missions would be fitting for a mystery-based Sherlock Holmes game. Imagine being able to investigate a crime scene in a well-detailed Victorian London, where every clue, every conversation, and every decision affects how the mystery unfolds. We could disguise ourselves to gather information, sneak into locked rooms to find evidence, and use cunning skills to piece together the truth to a mystery. IO Interactive already have the James Bond license, which shows that they are expanding beyond the Hitman formula, so a smaller scale Sherlock Holmes project would be absolutely perfect. If you played the murder mystery mission from Hitman 3, you know exactly why this would work so well. As a big Sherlock Holmes fan, I just wanted to come back, and I strongly believe IO Interactive are the best people to do the IP justice. So these are the 7 games I would love to see made. I know it was mostly IP based, but I honestly think that I chose the perfect IPs for these studios. A Remedy Entertainment made Severance game, and a Punisher from Naughty Dog would be my most ideal games. Man, Even thinking about them now gets me hyped up. But I should really control myself because I know these games aren't just going to be made. But you know what they say? Never say never. Maybe someone from the studios will see it and contact the IP owner. Nah, I just don't see it happening. Anyways, what dream game would you like to see made? Let me know down below. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see everyone on the next video.